Have you ever wondered what would happen if sleep, the essential component of our existence, was manipulated in the most sinister ways? In the annals of dark experiments, the Russian sleep experiment stands as a testament to the terrifying lengths some are willing to go in the name of scientific exploration. The Russian sleep experiment is a creepypasta that narrates the story of a scientific experiment that took place during the Soviet era and involved 5 test volunteers being exposed to an experimental sleep-inhibiting stimulant. This experiment has since become the foundation of an urban legend. The narrative describes an investigation that took place in 1947 at a secret Soviet testing facility. 5 convicts who were judged to be threats to the state were subjected to a scientific study that was overseen by the military. During the study, the prisoners were locked inside of a gas chamber and given an unidentified gas-based stimulant compound on a continuous basis in order to keep them awake for a period of 1 month. The inmates were given a misleading assurance that they would be released from the institution on the condition that they successfully complete the experiment within the allotted 30 days. During the first 5 days of the experiment, the participants exhibited their typical behavior. They talked to each other and whispered to the researchers via the one-way glass. However, it was observed that the subjects' conversations gradually got more disturbing in terms of the topic matter. After 9 days, one of the test subjects began shrieking uncontrollably for several hours, but the other participants had no reaction to his behavior. The man shouted for such an extended period of time that he tore his vocal cords, which ultimately resulted in him being unable to speak. When the second one began wailing, the others covered the porthole windows with pieces of torn book pages and their own feces to keep the researchers from peering inside. Several days passed during which the researchers were unable to peer inside the chamber, which resulted in that space being totally devoid of any sound. The researchers checked to see if the individuals were still alive by using the intercom, and they received a brief answer from one of the subjects expressing their compliance. On the 15th day, the researchers came to the conclusion that it would be best to switch off the stimulating gas and then reopen the chamber. Because the participants were concerned that they would nod off, they did not want the gas to be turned off. When they looked inside, they found that the 4 people who were still alive had committed acts of self-mutilation and disembowelment that were both fatal and severe over the course of the previous days. These acts included tearing off sections of skin and muscles, removing multiple abdominal internal organs, practicing self-cannibalism on themselves, as well as cannibalism of the second subject, and allowing 10 centimeters of blood and 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor by jamming paper. And the test participants fiercely refused to leave the chamber and asked the researchers to continue administering the stimulant. They also caused one of the soldiers who attempted to remove them from the chamber to be killed, and another to suffer severe injuries. After being eventually taken from the chamber, all of the test subjects were found to have incredible strength, an unprecedented resistance to anesthetics and sedatives, the ability to survive lethal injuries, and a desperate desire to stay awake and be administered the stimulant. This was all discovered after the patients were eventually evacuated from the chamber. It was also discovered that the individuals would perish if they went to sleep at any point during the experiment. After receiving some treatment for their serious injuries, the remaining 3 patients were prepared to return to the gas chamber with the stimulant on the orders of the military officials, but against the wishes of the researchers, with EEG monitors revealing short recurring episodes of brain death. This was done against the will of the researchers. One of the test subjects passed out and died before the chamber could be sealed, while the other test subject, who was the only one who could talk, screamed to be immediately placed back into the chamber. The military commander gave the order for 3 additional researchers to be sealed inside the chamber with the 2 subjects who were still being studied. One of the researchers instantly pulled his gun and shot both the commander and the mute subject in the head, which caused the other person to run out of the room. Both of the victims were slain. The scared researcher said that he would not permit himself to be trapped in a room with monsters that could no longer be called people, even though there was only one participant who had survived the experiment. He desperately inquired what the topic was, and the subject grinned and described himself and the other fallen subjects as an innate evil inside the human mind that is held in check by the act of sleeping. This caused him to ask what the subject was, and the subject replied by saying that he and the other fallen subjects had fallen victim to this evil. After a brief pause, the researcher shot the prisoner in the heart. As the subject lay dying on the ground, he mumbled his final words. So, nearly free. This was all for today. One hope you liked the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay safe, and we will be right back soon with another video. For more information, subscribe and watch other videos from our channel.